original.
Attention, you are about to hear the captivating voice of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique. Brilliant. And unpredictable. Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yes, okay, we're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show.
I'm not on camera. Hello, it's me. How are you? How's everybody? The monitor's not on. I am not seeing the monitor, this big monitor. The big monitor is not on. So I'm just, I want to say to everybody how you're doing, and I'm waiting for the technical. There's a little technical issue here and there, and we're trying to straighten it out. It's okay. It happens. Anyway, I have a few things to talk about today. I always like, it's like getting out. There you go. It's like getting out of the gate, a little rough. It's like getting out of the gate, and but we're off and running now. I can see myself. And is this the right camera, Jeremy? Okay. So everything is booked down good. Okay. It's going to be a great show today. Terrific show. Yeah. I don't know who touches my stuff. All my settings. Hello. I'm not hearing myself. Jeremy.
Oh, my God.
Jeremy, I need your help.
Hold on, dude.
No, because I'm not hearing myself in the ear things. And this was set the other day nicely, and somebody comes in here and they screw around with our stuff. And I have that up there. Yes, hello. It's not making any difference. Something's rotten in the state of Denmark. Hello, no. Hello. I hear something, but it's so bad. It's really not good. Why is that? It's not. It's just the equipment, probably. Try, hello. You know what? No, all right, go ahead, go up. Yeah, that's up. Go up. No, the other way. Good. We got it, good. You know what it is? I think it's in my earphones. You've got to give me there, from control panel, a little more vocal presence. I think that's what it is. Can you hear it now? Is that better? Can you hear it good? I think can you pump up my volume, just my vocal volume a little more? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donald. It's not going. I'm not hearing myself, because you can ride my vocal as the music comes in and out. So there's 2 little things there that just have to be played with. Just relax. It's no big deal. I want to get it right. Hello? It's my fault. I got in here very late. We didn't test everything out. Testing 1 2. Jeremy, can you come in a second, please? Jeremy, can you come in a second? Anyway, I'll continue on as if everything is going beautifully. There is a... and do we have the music? I'm not hearing any music.
Well, you kind of have me doing 75 things at once here.
Okay.
So you can wait a minute.
All right, I'll wait a minute. Oh, there's the music. Hello, how are you? That's nice. It'll calm me down. I'm kind of in that mode of. Look at. I like improvisation, and I like rawness. Yeah, I'm not Fox News. I don't have Fox News budget with 17, assistants and a technical crew of 25. It's us and a camera, and that's what it's like. And sometimes things are a rough little start. Anyway, I don't know what I want to talk about. There's so many different things I want to talk about today. You know, I've got so many things on my mind. You know, they'll be making announcements pretty soon on me directing a film, and so I've got that on my mind. I've got now creating this world that I'm going to have to inhabit as a director. And a director is, you know, and I'm not just, you know, there are directors. I directed a film in 2008 called The Dukes. It won 9 awards. It's myself, Chaz Palminteri, great director Peter Bogdanovich, Miriam Margolyes, Ilya Baskin, terrific Russian actor who was in Moscow and the Hudson and the Spider-Man and tons of movies. And Miriam Margolyes, who I mentioned, she got an OBE from England. Marvelous actress. I think she got an Academy Award nomination. Melora Hardin. Bruce Weitz, who was on Hill Street Blues for years. Belker, I think it was. But it's a great cast. Dominic Scott Kay plays my son when he was younger. You should check it out, The Dukes. It's about a doo-wop group who, in the 60s, Chaz and I played 2 cousins, that we had a doo-wop group in the 60s. And we were on top of the world back then. We were the number 1 selling group. And then you cut to 2007, and we're not doing so well because music changed. I remember as a kid reading a newspaper. I was reading a newspaper called the New York Times, and this was in the 70s. And there was an article that I read. The music is a little intense for me. Can we change the bed and put on something a little more subdued? A little more, you know, just something a little more meditative, kind of. A little more, yeah. A little more reflective. That's good. I want to put your camera on right now, please. It'll be a good, yes, come on. I want to have a little drama going on. Come on, put your camera on. Don't do this to me. Slick it on. All right, put it on. Put it on. There it is. That's my son, Nick. And you know, there's nothing more intense than a father and son. Now my son is 20. And you know, I'm a bit of a beast. You know, my dad was a beast to me, and I mean a good beast. He was a quiet beast. I'm a much more vocal beast. My dad, if he said a few words, yeah, go ahead, comment on that. I do speak a lot. I'm a combination of my father and my mother, and sometimes I'm quiet, and sometimes I'm very verbose. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Oh, you're just getting ready to say something? Getting ready to unleash? Is that what you're doing, Nick? This is Nick. All right? So, you know.
Today ain't the day.
You know what? Today's the day. We got to do it, all right? All right, Stuttering John, let's do it. You know, like on Howard Stern. Come on. Every day is the day, my son. Every day is the day. It's another learning experience.
You know what it is?
Tell me.
I think from here on out, you need to show up on time, because you show up with 1 minute till we're on the air.
Well, I figured you guys had it all under control, all right? So I realize it's my fault. I believe me.
Everything under control, but then
I know. Then the bull comes into the room, and everything gets miscombobulated and everything else. So I agree. You know, I agree. I came in like 1 minute before airtime, so everybody's setting up the computers and everything else. But that's, you know, I like that edge. I don't know why, but I'm a combination of my mother and my father. My mother, and Nick knows this, he never met my mom. She died, they both died young, in their mid-50s. But anyway, it was she praised me, she loved me, but my mom was also someone who was able to absolutely inspire you with how can I say it? If it wasn't good enough, it wasn't good enough. She wasn't going to give me a trophy because I was her son. She wasn't that kind of mommy. If I did good, I did good. If I stunk, she told me it stunk. That's what she'd say. And I excelled at everything. I was a good, solid B student. I was athlete that won awards in a drama club, in the singing. So I gave them a lot of that. But at the same time, even though I was, you could do better. I always heard her say, you could do better. And there's nothing wrong with that. But today's generation has been coddled a bit. Not that my son... Come on, get back on camera. I like watching you, son. All right, that's okay, but get back on camera. Okay. So anyway, that's how my mom was. So getting back to the Dukes. I read an article in the New York Times, and this is in the 70s, and it talked about how steelworkers were laid off. How people that had jobs for 20 years, 20 or so years, they were expunged. No longer. 20, 25 years. I thought to myself, and this is a young man, I'm probably my son's age at that time, maybe a little older, because he's only 20. But I thought to myself, that's a frightening thing. What do you do? How do you reinvent yourself? How do you reinvent yourself after 25 years of doing something and the rug is pulled out from under you? When we come back, that was the seed and the inspiration for my film, The Dukes. And I'm going to tell you how it developed from that point on. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Did you know withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. So please listen up. Are you aware that banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any behavior they think is suspicious? It's true. I was shocked as I read Swiss America's blockbuster report, The Secret War on Cash. This new war against cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. Listen to me. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Now get your free copy by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. Or visit SwissAmerica.com. This war on cash is growing daily and also includes all forms of digital money. So please, get ahead, read The Secret War on Cash free to every Robert Davi fan today by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. And then you'll thank me later.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavanols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
Robert Davi.
I want you to know this is nothing personal. It's purely business.
So, my dear friends, we're back. And I called in one of the other technicians that had been here for quite a while, and I wanted him to listen to what I'm listening to so he can understand that there is no, use this. Use what I'm hearing, not what you're hearing. Come on, Jar. Don't worry about my ears. My ears are perfect. You'll hear what I'm saying. All right? Now, you can't hear yourself. It's not nice. It's not, and you could put that up till doomsday, and it distorts it and doesn't sound right. Now, I want Mike Horn to come in here and see what the hell is going on with the equipment. I want to see why we can't get stuff, or what's going on that I can't get this. Yeah, it's not. Wait a minute, Jeremy. It's not that. It's because. No. But it's interesting to me. But here's what I'm saying, Jeremy. This thing here, okay? This thing here, when he's playing the commercials and everything else, I'm hearing it great. When I put it onto this to hear myself, it's kind of a muffly sound. But anyway. No, I don't. I want this kind of headset because it's an ear. He was supposed to get me earbuds. He was supposed to get me a new little system. He didn't get it yet. You know, I'm still. Did something go down? It was good and then it went down. I want somebody to come in here and work it for a half a day. I want to get it so you sound like when I go to a regular studio, I can hear it. You think it's these headphones? So let's try different headphones and see if that's the case. He was going to get me a different pair of earphones. I want to see if that's the case. Different headphones. We're going to try different headphones now, and then more on the Dukes. You know, this is called. Imagine this live. No, this is just as bad. Get rid of these. It's this thing. It's this pile of garbage here. It's whatever it is here. It's not right. It's not giving you the. Those are worse. Yeah, well, you know what? They're not used to what I'm used to. Okay, that's all I can tell you. Here, put these back in, will you? Testing 1 2. All right. So here it is again. I don't know. So. You know, I woke up today like a bull in a china shop anyway, so everything is pissing me off. Everything's bothering me. You go back to COVID. You go back to everything else that's happening in life. COVID. I talked to my friend in Sweden. They're not panicking right now. Not right now. And I told you, I said this on the show several months ago, that COVID was going to come back with a vengeance by the fall. And this is what's happening with this Delta variant. But anyway, back to the Dukes. The Dukes. Proud of that film. Won 9 awards. So I play. I read that article in the New York Times, and what happens is, I'm worried about people that are doing something in their life, and they can no longer do it. What happens? And I remembered I did a film. My first film was with Sinatra and a guy named Jay Black from Jay and the Americans. Great singer. Murray the K called him the greatest voice in rock and roll. Caramia, you know what I mean? There's so many different hits. Great guy Jay Black was, and we played the Sonatas Brothers. And I remember in the 60s how big a group they were. They were huge. Madison Square Garden, I mean, the adulation. And like everything else in life, time changes. So when I did the film, and I prefaced this by reading the article a couple of years before. I said, wait a minute, this even happens in entertainment. I think that was the first time I really thought about it doesn't last forever in life. Nothing does. So I wrote this script, co-wrote it with James Andronica, called him up, a friend of mine in the 80s. We did Gangster Chronicles together. I said, let's do this. And I told him the story, and The Dukes was born as a script. And I wanted to frame this idea of what do you do when you can no longer do something you did and you were top of the game. And I used the doo-wop group as the metaphor. but it was a metaphor for everyone out there. And it came in the context of, I mentioned you in an earlier show of Alvin Toffler's book, The Third Wave. It came with that from the agricultural industrial age, we're now going into the techno age, and people will be left behind, their jobs and everything else, and how do things evolve? So this little film, The Dukes, and they're faced with a moral dilemma. They're broke. They're working in their aunt's restaurant to survive. And they have a manager, played by Peter Bogdanovich, who's trying to get them gigs. Their longtime loyal manager. And they're reduced to, in the hopes of making a buck or getting their careers back, they're reduced to these ridiculous things until finally one of them loses a tooth. He has a smile. Chaz's character, George, goes, who cares, I got a smile, and he's flirtatious with the girls, and it's very cute, very fun. And a long story short, he loses his smile. He swallows his tooth on a hot dog, eating a hot dog on Venice Beach. The gristle breaks off his tooth, and he now is toothless in the front and no smile. Rushed to the dentist to get a temporary in, and it's the wrong color, and there's no money to really fix it, but they put something in. And it's and I overhear that there's a gold, that the dentists use gold. And there's a lab that makes these things and use gold. And then we come up with this harebrained scheme of pulling off a heist of dental gold. So The Dukes is, and then it ends differently. It really ends that as long as you're doing something you love and you don't compromise your morality, you can survive. And that's the message in The Dukes. And it was in the Rome Film Festival. It was in the French festival Alpe d'Huez. Won the Corp de Corps Prize of the Heart. It was in Monaco. Europe loved it, and I got Best First-Time Director and Best Screenplay. We got from Ettore Scola and Mario Monicelli and Claude Zidi. These are huge names in Italian cinema and French cinema. I mean, Oscar winners, Cannes Golden Palm winners. So I was very proud of that film. And I have been looking for, and then I acted in the film, and they, terrific little organization called Delta Rescue, about the largest animal sanctuary in the world. I met Leo Grillo. I was cast in this film called Magic. And what I did was I took Magic and I acted in it. And after he saw the cut, he was panicking. And I said he had loved The Dukes, and he said, would I help fix it? So I then went in and edited down, filmed to what was salvageable for me, and made quite an interesting, sweet piece of it. It's a good little film, Magic. You can see it for free if you go to deltarescue.com. And I got a great musical soundtrack. Anyway, so and that's not me really directing, but I fixed it. I kind of fixed that picture. And I've been getting scripts, and people have been wanting me to direct, and I hadn't been inspired, but a project came my way that I've been inspired about. And we'll be making an announcement about that next week. But what do you do when you no longer can do something well enough? Where do you go?
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet. fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a fillet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
This is Robert Davi. Allow me to introduce you to the most trusted name in precious metals, Swiss America. Since 1982, they've been helping Americans protect their wealth from dangerous government spending and runaway debt. Now, it's no secret gold and silver prices have rocketed over the last decade. With all of the rising uncertainty, experts say precious metal prices are headed much higher in the months and years ahead. Now, to help protect my fans, Swiss America has a very special offer. Swiss Walking Liberty half dollars at the amazingly low price of $12.50 each, delivered. That's right, $12.50. So call now, reserve your silver coins at 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. Silver Walking Liberty half dollars from Swiss America for just $12.50 each, delivered, while supplies last. Again, 866-219-3750. 866-219-3750. Do it today.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, is that a Q2 or a Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
Nah.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Robert Davi Show.
This is authentic. Una furtiva lacrima negli occhi.
So anyway, dear friends, here I am today in a grouchy mood. But you know what? That's what life is like sometimes. Sometimes you hit it, and sometimes you dribble it. So today's a dribble. What can I tell you? As a matter of fact, we should talk about sports. Screw this. Let's go. Come on. Nick, I want to talk about sports a second. Enough of that today. I don't want to go into the typical politics that everybody's going into today. You know, COVID, yes, COVID. I mean, everybody's hearing the same mantra of nonsense. All right, you have a good perception. My son is really good with sports. I don't. But tell me what's the best thing on your mind. You would tell me Russell Westbrook went to the Lakers? Tell me about that.
Yep, Russell Westbrook got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers along with 2 second-round draft picks. And going the other way was Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, a first-round pick, and yeah. Oops.
Well, so is that good for the Lakers?
That's really good for the Lakers.
What does that mean?
Three now. That's a big three with Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. That's going to be something else.
So LA should be happy about that.
We should definitely win a championship. If we don't win a championship, then it's just a bust season.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there you go. And now, my son is like a Bruins fanatic. He loves the Bruins. The Bruins are his... What do you feel about the Bruins, Nick? Tell me.
Well, we made a lot of good free agent acquisitions.
No, I'm saying just as I'm asking you, what do you feel about the Boston Bruins?
Oh, well, I bleed black and gold.
He bleeds black and gold. Listen to this. All
I'm
right.
a diehard fan, hardcore fan. And yeah.
So what did they do recently that you who retired?
Well, I mean, he didn't retire from hockey, but David Krejci, our second-line center for the last 14 years, I've been watching him my whole life. He just decided that he was going to leave and go play in the Czech Republic again where his family could watch him, which sucks for Bruins fans because we've just signed all these free agents and we're supposed to make a cup run, and now it doesn't really look like that's going to happen unless someone just is going to be insane out of nowhere, which is very highly unlikely. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, anyway, it's kind of it's that's not my field. But what are you happy about in hockey? What do you think hockey team is going to do something?
I actually think Vancouver is going to be a really good team this year. They just revamped their entire blue line and pretty much their entire bottom six. So they're going to be a really good team to look out for, I think. On paper. But we all know what happens with that sometimes. A team can look really good on paper, and then all of a sudden here comes the regular season, and they don't really play like how everyone thought they were going to play. So only time will tell with that one. But I'd say them and the Florida Panthers are the teams to look out for.
Really? All right, put that down, bookies. So anything else you want to talk about in sports?
No.
Okay.
Oh, the Giants are going to be sneaky good this year. They're going to make the playoffs. I'll put money on it.
The Giants?
The New York Giants.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Well, we just signed a big wide receiver, Kenny Golladay. Our running back, Saquon Barkley's coming back from injury. Everyone's healthy. It's all on our quarterback, Daniel Jones. Let's see if he can actually play football. We'll find out this year for sure.
Well, there's my kid. Look at that Nick. This is amazing. And see, he has like a genius about the sports stuff, and I don't want to go any further on that. But he's got what he's interested in. He is like top on. You know what I mean? It's like but.
Now when it comes to school, right?
Yeah.
I already knew that was coming.
When it comes to school, it's like it's not your interest, so you just don't. But otherwise, it's like, huh? He has these facts like, you're watching ESPN Sports. But very good. Thank you, son.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Catch you later, son. I'm sure we'll catch each other later. So, getting back to... so he told me we had some viewers before, and as we were crashing and burning, the viewers disappeared. Did we get any back or no? There's a few back. That's funny. They probably says, "Oh my God, we can't watch this." Yeah, look it. I am the kind of personality that puts it out there. If you know me, if you're a friend of mine, you understand that. And I like to create a little bit of hysteria and havoc every now and then because it's in all our worlds. Nothing is tied up in a nice little, neat little bun. There is nothing like that. People's lives are full of chaos. I wanted to show you out there, I wanted to humanize myself because I have to sit here for an hour and most people do the pundits and they expound and so I wanted to give a bit of theatrics on purpose today. It's almost like a comedian, a great comedian friend of mine who could snap your head back. I'm not going to mention his name. He could snap your head back with laughter. And yet he would say to me, he'd go, "You know what I want to do sometimes?" He goes, "Sometimes I bomb. Sometimes I just want to bomb because what's fun is getting them back. It's fun getting them back." And that for me is I've always remembered that metaphor. And in any drama, it's like that. It's like, Rocky's got to get bloodied up. He's got to be on the canvas. You got to go, "Oh, poor guy. What's happening there?" So I wanted to do that live here today for posterity, just to see the effect it might have, because that's how I feel our government is. Okay, my dear friends? I gave you a peek inside of the United States government and the decisions that they're trying to make or not make. I gave you a peek inside the CDC. These are the people running our nation, okay? So if you don't understand my theatrical point of view on this, I'm sorry. But that's the chaos behind the scenes in the White House, in other areas of our government, in Homeland Security. This is what they're doing to our nation. It's a confused kind of shuffle. It's unorganized. They used the coronavirus to win the election, the Democrats did. Remember how they attacked Trump over and over again? And I remember so many left-wing actors and celebrities. Well, guess what? Some of them now are ranting against the Biden administration in terms of CNN, and I even watched Fox News. They had to say. Someone said, a celebrity said recently, he goes, I was a hero. I was a superhero before when I got the vaccine, and now I'm a super spreader. And he got really angry at this. Did it on TikTok. It went kind of viral. Now he's a super spreader. So we have lunatics in charge of our nation, my dear friends. And the madness is, we're spiraling into this day after day after day, and you could see it. The coronavirus, and I said a month ago, when I met with one of these top doctors, the Delta variant was going to be explosive in the fall. And that's what it's headed toward. Now they're going to do mask mandates again. The vaccines, we don't know, do they work, do they not work? There's conflicting reports on this. It's the same thing. It's chaotic. It's worse than when Trump was in office. Worse. Which they blamed him for. And Pelosi is taking advantage of this. The Democrats, they know the plan. They are taking advantage of this. This is what's happening in our nation right now, like the opening of my show. They're taking advantage to take care of their socialist agenda. When you have the Secretary of Defense, did you see him? The Secretary of Defense went to, I think it was the Philippines. I'll have to find out exactly where he went. When we come back, maybe we'll get a picture of the Secretary of Defense.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Citizens, no need now to clamor for culinary gustatorial delights. Dreams do come true. Columbo's has triumphantly reopened its golden doors to feed the famished and soothe the savage beast. Bask in the delights of Columbo's succulent steaks, Neptune's superior offerings from the 7 seas, Columbo's family Italian specialties, and of course, their world-famous meatballs, and it's all so affordable. Yes, Columbo's, the ninth wonder of the world. The Southern California pantheon dedicated to unrivaled and unparalleled yum yum. Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute.
Basketball superstar LeBron James wants to rescue his son who's been trapped by a rogue algorithm played by Don Cheadle inside a high-tech world called the Serververse. But the only way to achieve that noble goal is to team up with classic Warner Brothers cartoon characters, including, well, you know who, in Space Jam: A New Legacy, playing in theaters and streaming on HBO Max.
What is this? I'm a cartoon?
What's up, Doc? This whole kooky confection is, of course, based on the 1996 version of Space Jam that featured another basketball legend named Michael Jordan, who didn't try nearly as hard as LeBron when it comes to acting range, and that doesn't really work in LeBron's favor. The sentimental scenes of father and son reconciliation are neither funny nor touching, though some of the silly gags are intermittently amusing. It's rated PG, 2 stars for Space Jam: A New Legacy, where it's hard to conceive that they mount another lame sequel.
The Robert Davi Show.
Mike, you let me down, Mike. You're making me look bad. I thought we had an understanding. And all I expect is a little cooperation!
Sorry, Robert.
Trying to send this here to my son so we can show this picture to you guys of the Secretary of Defense in his getup. It's almost like a... it's almost like a action hero. I sent it to you. Probably not going to get it, but anyway, let me describe what he looks like. He comes down the plane to meet other world leaders who are masked, who have a mask on, the black facial mask. But he comes down with the mask on and also a facial shield, which is okay. We've used those facial shields in when we're doing films, but you're doing that because you don't want to mess up your makeup, and you're not wearing a regular mask. But he has both of them on, the facial shield and the and this other mask, and I guess it was interesting. Look, in Sweden right now, they're not talking about the Delta variant yet. They suspect it to be a player in what's happening there. There are so many varying degrees of misinformation on this. And what gets me upset is not the caution of it, but the politicization of it. The left's attachment to this, and they seemingly want the right. Now, I'm an independent conservative, but I mask up. I had my kids vaccinated, I vaccinated, my wife vaccinated. I say, be cautious, wash your hands, take care of yourself. I'm not, the protocols, I'm not negating the protocols. I've seen people die, but did you know, guess how many people died of AIDS this year? Take a guess. Over 2 million. Have you heard about it? Now, okay, the COVID is a new thing. Like AIDS was. Remember when AIDS came out, that beginning of AIDS? Back in the 70s, the panic in the 80s? There was panic about AIDS. And there was no social media. Now imagine if there was social media when the AIDS outbreak happened. Imagine that. What would people do? What would have happened? It would have been panic. Oh yes. Much more panic. Gay community would have been inundated with hate crime, I'm sure, at that time. It already had suffered from it. But imagine if there was social media at the time. But in spite of AIDS, with all that panic that we had over the years, there are now protocols, there are now weapons against it, but still over 2 million people died of AIDS last year. And COVID is going to be around. They're telling us COVID is here. We're not going to eradicate the COVID. And You know, it's life is a very interesting thing. I think the only part of it all that we can make sense of is faith. You have to stay close to your family, you have to stay close to your friends, and you have to have a certain amount of deep faith. And not necessarily in the government. Because I believe there are forces in the government that are as dysfunctional as the opening of my show. 81 Nancy Pelosi announced that anyone without a paper obedience mask in the House of Representatives will be subject to arrest. It's finally something Democrats will punish. A crime. You don't wear a mask, we're going to arrest you in the House of Representatives. Straight from the CDC, she says. Well, check for yourself. And the CDC said this: thank you for your request. And the first publication of this data will be coming tomorrow. This is what they said. So, be clear. You can now be arrested for violating scientific guidelines that scientists have not explained. In California, they're thinking of masking the kids for 10 hours a day, all next year. And no one tells you why it's necessary. Teachers Union want this to happen, therefore it's happening. And they just gave $2 million to Gavin Newsom. How nice of them. Thank you so much. What happened? That's okay. He can't pull up the picture of the Secretary of Defense. But you got the idea. You've probably seen the picture. Google it. He's got a face shield. It's just fun to put up there. It gives me a few seconds to get you away from my face. I wish I had that thing. I'd put it on. Now, here's what's interesting. It's it's like a Marx Brothers comedy, the whole thing. Imagine the Marx Brothers COVID-19 movie, what that would be like. If you don't know who the Marx Brothers are, they were a band of brothers who were hysterically absurd comedians, and they did a bunch of movies that had absolute chaos around them. And let alone, and I'm not going to beat up on Joe Biden, because why? Why beat up on Joe Biden? And we know that the pandemic has been very good to the Democratic Party. Remember that old Saturday Night Live? Baseball has been very, very good to me. Well, the Democratic Party can say now the pandemic has been very, very good to me. That's right, the pandemic is very, very good to me. Oh my God. So, think about the 18 months. Think about the 18 months we've just had. And remember when there were the BLM riots and there was no masking? Were they arresting anyone rioting that didn't wear a mask? I guess they couldn't spread the COVID. Huh? What do you think? Why couldn't they spread the COVID? And the question we should all ask ourselves is, why are Republicans in the Congress playing along with it? Why? Are they afraid of something? Being called science deniers by people who think men can have babies. Science deniers. We talked about that yesterday. Because maybe Willie Brown's girlfriend is going to say something on MSNBC. So, to me, it's the theater of the absurd. With caution. There is a hypocrisy going along on this. A deep hypocrisy. And you're going to vote for Gavin Newsom? Are you going to really do that in California again? You need alternatives. something needs to be done to shake up the Democratic Party. Because the media, you know, there was a movie by Fellini. And the media, they were 3 little girls that had said they had a version of the Blessed Virgin. You know, it was a mock on Our Lady of Fatima in a way. And how the media can be led by the nose. This was in Fellini's film. I believe it was in La Dolce Vita, where Marcello Mastroianni plays a paparazzi, a reporter, journalist. And he goes to the site where all the cameras are, and all the press from around the world is there. And the 3 little kids go to a spot, they bow their heads and they pray. And then they get up and they move to another spot. And as they do this, the press runs this way. And then they do it again and the press runs that way. And then they do it again and they go this way. And the press follows them. They pick up their cameras and they shudder and run after them. They just follow whatever's happening there. And underneath you can see these little girls giggling to each other. These kids, these 3 kids, they're giggling because they realized that this was a bit of a scam. Now, I'm not saying this is, but the media is a scam. You know, it's one thing to criticize. It's easy to criticize. But, you know, we have to be more nuanced than that, I believe. So, when people say we have to mask up and we have the science deniers and we have Pelosi saying this, and yet there are crimes being portrayed, and they don't want to arrest them, but masks you got to get arrested for. You see, this is we live in very interesting times. It's disheartening. It's disheartening because there is no truth there. We don't have truth yet in science. When scientists are saying men can have babies and they're denying the science of that I talked about yesterday. So who do you trust? You have to trust yourself, the individual. Let the individual make that decision. See, this whole thing, it seems very nefarious to me. It's very strange. And if it did come from a lab, and like I brought up in yesterday's show, the tons of money that was pumped into changing the world by the communists, who's to say? Who's to say they didn't have a master plan with this? I don't know, but it's a possibility. Have a wonderful weekend.
Are you tired of your favorite talk show sounding like this? What if you can hear your favorite talk shows in crystal clear, high-definition sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio, 7 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in true CRN high-definition audio. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Michael Medved, Tom Hartman,